The emergency session of the Galactic Council had been called within hours of the first reports. Ambassador Kethvar of the Zenthari Federation stood before the assembled delegates, his chitinous exoskeleton clicking nervously as he spoke. Esteemed colleagues, he began, his translator rendering his chemical pheromones into standard galactic. The situation has escalated beyond our worst projections. The hegemony has enslaved 17 species across the Outer Rim. Their bioships are harvesting entire populations for processing. A collective shudder ran through the chamber. The Vorlak hegemony had emerged from dark space 3 cycles ago, their technology incomprehensible, their hunger insatiable. They consumed sentient life itself, draining consciousness to fuel their organic vessels. "What of the Terran delegation?" asked Prime Minister Veltar, her crystalline form refracting the chamber's soft light. "Surely the humans will—" "The humans have not responded to our calls," Kethvar interrupted. "Earth remains silent. Some fear they have already fallen." In the gallery reserved for observers, Captain Sarah Chen of the Terran Defense Corps sat motionless. Her weathered face betrayed nothing, but her knuckles were white as she gripped her data pad. The other delegates had no idea that humanity had been fighting the hegemony for 8 months in the dark between stars, buying time for the galaxy's civilized species to debate. The hegemony's first mistake had been attacking the agricultural colony of New Harvest. 3 million humans dead in the span of hours, their life force drained to fuel the alien war machine. The colony's children had been kept alive longer. Their fear made the harvest sweeter. The galaxy's second mistake had been expecting humanity to ask for permission. Admiral Marcus Reeves stood on the bridge of the UES Retribution, watching the tactical display with grim satisfaction. Around him, the bridge crew worked with the quiet efficiency that came from months of continuous warfare. No debates, no committees, just humans doing what they did best: adapting, surviving, and fighting. "Back. Status report," he commanded. 16th Fleet reports the Kepler system is secure, sir, came the reply from his XO. "The hegemony bioships have been neutralized. We're extracting survivors from the processing centers." Reeves nodded. Each victory came at tremendous cost, but they were learning. Human ingenuity had found ways to turn the alien strengths against them. Where other species saw impossible biotechnology, human scientists saw biology, and biology could be poisoned, infected, corrupted. "Sir," the communications officer called out, "we're receiving a transmission from the Galactic Council. They're requesting our presence at an emergency session." "Tell them we're busy," Reeves replied without turning. "We have a war to fight." The comm officer hesitated. "Sir, they're asking about our status, whether we've fallen to the hegemony." Reeves allowed himself a dark smile. "Fallen? No, we're still standing. But the hegemony—" He gestured to the tactical display showing the positions of human fleets across a dozen star systems. "Well, they're about to learn why civilized species don't pick fights with Deathworlders." Captain Chen finally stood, her movement drawing attention from the nearby delegates. She walked down to the chamber floor, her boots echoing in the sudden silence. "Ambassador Chen," Kethvar acknowledged nervously. "We had feared. That is, we've received no response from your government." "That's because we've been too busy fighting," she replied simply. "While you've been debating, we've been dying and killing." The chamber erupted in shocked chittering and harmonic protests. Chen waited for silence before continuing. "The hegemony hit 17 of your worlds. They hit one of ours, New Harvest. My daughter was teaching school there. Her voice remained steady, but something in her eyes made several delegates step back. They kept the children alive longer. The fear made the harvest sweeter, you see. She activated her data pad, and holographic displays materialized above the chamber floor. Fleet positions, battle reports, casualty figures that made the assembled aliens pale. This is what we've been doing while you held committee meetings. 67 hegemony bioships destroyed. 14 of their harvesting fleets scattered. 3 processing centers liberated. She paused, letting the numbers sink in. We've been at war for 8 months. We didn't ask permission. We didn't form committees. We didn't debate. But the casualties, whispered the Centauri delegate. Your own losses. 2 million dead, Chen confirmed. But that's the difference between us and you. When something threatens our children, we don't calculate acceptable losses. We calculate how much of the enemy needs to die to make them stop. The tactical display shifted, showing human fleet movements in real time, ships moving with purpose through space that had been dark and dangerous for months. The hegemony made a fundamental error in their calculations, Chen continued. They attacked a species that evolved on a death world, a species that's been killing each other for entertainment since before we discovered fire. They expected us to be like you, civilized. Careful, reluctant to accept casualties, she gestured to the fleet movements on the display. Instead, they got humans. We're not the galaxy's peacekeepers. We're not its diplomats or its philosophers. We're the thing you call when the monsters come out of dark space and start eating your children. 3 systems away, the hegemony's primary hive mind was experiencing something new: uncertainty. The humans fought like a virus in their carefully ordered collective consciousness. Where other species could be absorbed, categorized, and processed, humanity resisted. Worse, they adapted. The bioships that fed on fear found nothing to sustain them in human space. Where other species broke when faced with horror, humans became angrier. Where other species despaired when facing impossible odds, humans began planning. The hive mind had consumed 17 species without significant resistance. The humans were the first to fight back with something approaching their own ruthlessness. For the first time in 10,000 years, the hegemony was learning to fear. Back in the council chamber, Chen deactivated the display. The assembled delegates sat in stunned silence. The hegemony will be dealt with, she said simply. Not because we're heroes, but because they threatened our young. Because they made us angry. Because that's what humans do when monsters crawl out of the dark. She turned to leave, then paused at the chamber door. Oh, and for the record, Earth never fell. We just stopped taking your calls. We had work to do. As the door closed behind her, the council sat in silence. Outside the station's viewports, human warships moved through the void like hunting predators, carrying fire to the stars. The Deathworlders had responded to the outcry among the stars, and the galaxy would never be the same.